'cause I'm a weatherman. Oh, my thunderstrike, ride out the storm, I'm a weatherman. Oh, my bragging light, shake up the world, I'm the weatherman.
Good evening, citizens. Welcome to your Fast Forecast, the Empire source of traffic, weather, and news. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, your Fast Forecast!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are at part 2 of the Daymar Rally Investigation. And what we'll do is give you a chance to identify yourself if you would like to, as well as your part in this. You can remain anonymous if you'd like, but what we are trying to do is get a sense of what happened, how it could be fixed if possible, and just the information on everything that went wrong and how it can be fixed. So if you'd like to start with possibly identifying yourself.
Sure. So I'm First Impact, and I'm the leader of the International Space Defence. And we were tasked to be one of the security groups that was going to help secure the Daymar Rally before we were ousted by Quantum Jump Medical.
Wait, so you're a security group that was replaced by a medical group?
No, not quite. So when I went in to ask Atmo Esports if they needed a new security partner, they were very much all for that. They were like, this is great. We have somebody who's already in charge of our security, and they will ultimately be responsible for everything, but we'll take all the help we can get, is basically their stance on it.
Okay.
So at the end of it, there was a lot of security groups there. And I say security groups, but I mean, if you actually look at the list, you'll find that a lot of them aren't actually security groups. A lot of them are role-playing groups, YouTubers. I mean, Quantum Jump Medical is a medical group, but we're actually a PvP security org. We always have been.
Exactly. We went through some of the lists and noticed pretty much the same thing. It was very light on the PvP security groups, very heavy on medical groups, very heavy on role-playing groups, but not a lot of experience on dogfighting, not a lot of experience on essentially what you want a security group to be, which is in-your-face security.
Yeah, people who practice this because this is the gameplay that they enjoy, they want to get good at. I mean, when we got approved to be on the list, we were practicing for months. We were taking any videos we could get of past Daymar rallies, studying it, dissecting it, and figuring out what's going to be the best strategy. What should we bring? How should we deal with it? We went to a few practice runs where, unfortunately, but we found it quite fortunate that Griefernet came to them. I mean, we got to see the people that we were going to be fighting against in action. And that was really good, at least from our perspective. But that's part of the reason why we got ousted. Because we were excited to play against people who we were eventually going to be fighting. And people like Quantum Jump Medical wanted nothing to do with them. And really got a bit paranoid about our enthusiasm to be against them.
So let us see if we have this. Part of the strikes against you was the fact that you were excited to engage the enemy, which made you a possible vector of infection.
So I can show you the exact words he used. So these are documents that were given to us by Griefernet. But this was an internal report given by Quantum Jump Medical to Atmo Esports, and they said that the security group INSD has poor communication with other teams. We broke the rules by bringing in Idris, and most of the security was dead due to friendly fire. So the solution is we've removed the INSD from the security team. because they have admitted to contacting Griefernet for help during practices. And I'll say that's not true, but I'll come to the proof that they have, I say in quotation marks, soon enough. Bad to non-existent communication, not clicking with other teams and causing issues and arguments on rules, and breaking multiple rules for security previously established. So, the proof that I'm going to give you, not all of it shines a good light on us, and we did make mistakes. But I'm not going to withhold those, because what's the point in me making an argument if you don't get the whole picture?
Right. It would look very suspicious if you gave us evidence that only made you look good. That would pretty much
Exactly.
discount you. So, yes.
So, for communication, yeah, I completely see what they're saying. That needed to be improved. For bringing the Idris, they did say no Idris is allowed, and one was brought. That's on us. That was we shouldn't have done that at all. There was a friendly fire incident, but I can show you that in a bit, and you can make your own mind up about that. But let me tell you, this was one practice run, and I decided from there that we were out. Sorry, 2 ticks. I got my little one saying goodnight.
Of course.
Sorry about that, but I'm back.
No problem at all.
So I can start by showing the video if you like.
Okay. How do you want to do that?
So I'll stream it so that you get a reference to what I'm talking about, and then you can match
Awesome.
it up
Yes.
with the actual video.
Yeah. Let me pull as soon as you start streaming.
So put that here. Okay. Share screen. Media play. Let me know if you see that. And of
Yes.
course,
One
I
second.
think maybe you mute it.
Yeah. 1 second. Let me do some things here. Nope. Wrong button. Hold on. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I still hear you.
Awesome. Okay, I'm playing around with this because I am not
No worries.
used to doing this with multiple screens. Okay, let's not fix that. Okay, there we go. All set.
Okay, great. So, this is a video of us, or part of my team, who had grabbed the Idris and was sitting at a local OM marker. So, they knew that the Idris wasn't allowed. They took it in anyway. That's our bad. Completely our mistake. I'll take responsibility for that. What they did is they stole this Idris nearby. I don't know how they did it, but they managed it. And they were going to wait elsewhere and then take it in as soon as trouble arose. So, we'll move forward a bit. We'll get to this point, and suddenly they're under attack.
And in this point, y'all are up against Griefernet. Just y'all are doing force on force, correct?
Griefernet has struck, so they're getting ready, but they're still outside of the planet.
Okay, tracking.
They're on a no-end marker right now. So they're going to open up. Now they start engaging the targets. Now you may notice there, that is a quantum jump medical pilot.
Yes.
And next to him is Mike Spector, the guy who runs Quantum Jump Medical. Just have another look. There he is at the bottom left. Look at where the planet is and where the racers are. What are they doing at that OM marker, I wonder? But this is an example of poor communication, as well as what the hell are they doing there. But I'll go into more about that shortly. But for now, this is the friendly fire incident that killed most of their security, as they put it.
So, let us see if we got this straight. Your friendly fire with your team killed most of their security.
Yeah, as you can see here, most of their security would be 2 pilots. A third one's shown up. And by the way, this is Quantum Jump Medical we're against. And look how they're getting completely annihilated. So there's just numerous questions going on. What are they doing there? Why are they engaging a superior force like this? Why are they losing? Then, that right there, did you see that? That was full health at the top left to dead. That was a ramming.
Huh.
That's what they resort to.
Any idea who or what hit you?
Just another Quantum Jump Medical pilot. So, I'll go on to the next video. So this was a little bit later on. And this is when Griefernet is in full engagement. The guys have arrived after dealing with the previous Quantum Jump Medical chaps to go help. So you can see everybody on the ground there.
Yep, okay.
You'll notice from the past video as well that Quantum Jump Medical wasn't in the same party as us. And those
Why is
down
that?
there, sorry?
Why is that? Their security, they should be in the same party as you. Why aren't they in the same party?
This is the thing with communication. See, they blamed us for it. Yet, if you look here, those targets down there, I can count 2 INSD members on the ground. The rest of them aren't INSD. They're racers, they're other security personnel.
And this
But
is
Quantum Jump Medical wasn't part
this
of
is
that.
this is just a practice run, correct?
This is just a practice run.
Okay.
So, I will take my blame. I will go, the Idris shouldn't have been there. The communication could have been better. But this was one practice. And we did not kill most of the security. As you can see there was at max 4 pilots there. Which we easily got rid of, by the way. So, on the day, there were party problems. I'll grant them that. There were some tech problems. Also, they wanted to use SRS as their communication software, which was highly confusing. And it turns out that Griefernet had got the codes for it and could listen in and hear everything being said. Makes you wonder why they didn't use something like TeamSpeak. Or an even simpler option is just you have some officers in charge and they simply type X in party chat, which would mean I need help. Just a quick X, done. And then everybody knows, right, they're under attack, we need to go help. But no, they wanted SRS. And I wonder it's because it makes their radio, because it gives them a radio voice and makes them sound cooler.
Yeah, cool factor over functionality.
Could well be. Anyway, so this is what's going on. Also, I'll go into one more detail later on in this video. But right now, these guys are arriving on site because Griefernet has come full force. Now, I'll skip forward a bit, but you'll soon see... Oh, sorry. You'll soon see just how outmatched those guys are. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So, they open the door. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. Now, Matthew Magnus has just joined the chat, who was the officer in charge after I left for the night. He's been running back and forth for a long time now, trying to get communication with Quantum Jump Medical. But listen to what Matthew's saying shortly.
It's very, very low. Can you just tell us?
Sorry, just out of the video. I think you should turn it up on your end, but I'm going to dictate what he said.
Yeah, I have it maxed, and
I know.
what it's doing is it's trying to relay from yours through the computer, through Discord, through OBS, and it just loses. It steps down every time. So by the time it gets to the recording software, it's so low that we lose a lot of it.
Sure. I wouldn't say have any volume on this. I will tell you what he says.
Yes,
But
please.
I'm just saying it as if I'm talking and you can hear it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So check this out in a second. The Idris is now soft dead. You've got so many Idrises on you. Now think about how easily we dealt with Quantum Jump Medical before. Look at that.
Wow. And a fully charged Idris beam can run for 6 minutes with a 17.5-second recharge.
Yeah, it's just, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 Idrises attacking R1.
Oh, all of those are Idrises?
Yes.
Okay, that's excessive.
And did you hear what Matthew said just then?
No, we didn't get it.
He said, I'm just listening real quick. Do you know when I finally got a party invite from Quantum Jump Medical? After everyone had already died.
Okay.
He was waiting half an hour for Mike to send him a party invite. And he tells us we've got poor communication.
So, let us see if we understand this, just to be fair. Y'all are not expected to bring in Idris, but GrieferNet brought 6.
Yes.
There is nothing currently in game that will fight an Idris, a single Idris, much less 6, with the PDCs
Correct.
and fully crewed.
See, Mike's expecting that the Perseus was going to be the saviour, that was what's going to win the Daymar Rally. And I can show you a point I made to him, which is on another topic of I was arguing about the rules, because I said the same thing. How are we meant to deal with so many Idrises? We need to bring our own capitals. But it's against Atmos rules. That's fine. But I had to state my case. But that's literally where he's getting the fact that I was arguing about the rules and causing problems. Because you're right. How are we meant to deal with that? But I made a point of saying that actually capitals aren't going to be the main problem. The main problem is going to be fighters and bombers, because that's what's going to destroy the races.
Yes.
And do you know how many Idrises arrived on race day?
None. If our sources are correct, no Idrises arrived. They were all A2s.
Hello?
Hello? Can you still hear us? Still there?
Yeah, hello?
Okay, there you are.
Right, what did you catch?
Okay, you asked if we knew how many Idrises had showed up, and we said none.
Correct. Not one single Idris showed up. Do you know how many fighters and bombers showed up?
How many?
A lot. In fact, that's all they brought. And do you know what Proteus is not good against?
Fighters and bombers.
Correct. My report from months ago turned out to be actually 100% accurate.
Okay. So let's step back from this a moment, because you're a security org. If you had to go back and do this, how would you fix this? Let's talk solutions.
As in, if I could wind back time?
Yes, knowing what you know now, knowing hindsight's 2020. If you had a direct line and they said, okay, your org is in charge. Y'all are the master of ceremonies of security. We will take y'all as lead. Tell us how to fix this and make this secure. How would you secure this race?
I would stop treating Griefinet as if they're beneath us.
What do you mean?
All communication, every single communication I heard was them telling me that they're shit at the game, they can't dogfight, they can't do this, they can't do that. But actually, that's not true. They're actually pretty good at the game. And you need to give them respect for it. Because what's the point in predicting that they're going to be terrible at it when... What does that serve? And, you know... I get what they're saying, you know, you shouldn't be bringing light to this org. You shouldn't be making people even like them, because they are not people to be liked. They call themselves the terrorists of Star Citizen. That's what their role play is. And yeah, they fulfill that role very well. It's just... It's taking any opportunity you can to get to know your enemy, and not assuming that they're going to be worse than you for some unknown reason.
We've seen some of Griffernet's videos, and you're right. They are not bad at it. They are extremely good pilots, and they communicate amazingly well. They communicate on par with some milsims. They have very fluid communications. They have very strong hierarchies. They listen to whoever's in charge, and have no problem with like shooting at their own people, and their own people don't take offense to it. So if one of their guys gets blown up, okay, well that happens, and they don't get angry. They go get another ship and come back. Whereas, as we saw with this, hey, friendly fire happens. It's called blue on blue. It happens in real life as well. And instead of learning from it, you penalize.
Not even penalised, removed completely.
Exactly.
And not even not even a second to defend ourselves. This happened in the night whilst I was asleep. This report was written, sent out to Atmo, approved, and then it's not even as if they told me. What happened was he told everybody else to start leaving the security chat until it was just me and Mike. And I'm not sure if I was lucky or what, but of course I didn't know what was going on. So I say, hey, I can't believe people are leaving after this, last practice. I know it didn't go well, but we're still dedicated to making it work, just so you know. And he says, oh, that they still are committed to it. It's just we're not having you around anymore. I mean, come on.
Okay. So the way you would fix this is, just going back over it, would be better communications. Would you say you mentioned just real quick, a hit X in party chat when you need assistance, just a real quick pop over. Okay, now I know who needs help. Instead of clogging up voice comms with chatter, I can just glance over at party chat and see that person needs help. I see them on my screen, their name, they need help, I can match it, I can go.
I mean, I will also say that simplicity is key. The more moving parts you have are more areas of failure. And I mean, this may not be like the perfect solution. If you give it more thought, then maybe they'll come up with a better one. But it is very simple. You have some shot callers, some people that everybody would recognize to go, all right, so Matthew is the current field officer for INSD. If he types X, everybody would know that INSD needs help. And it's so quick to do.
Okay.
It can't be infiltrated because only security are in there. And it does its job perfectly.
Okay. So we have better communication. What else? So communication wasn't the only point of failure on this race.
Correct. So, I mean, a big one was the wait time. So it took 3 hours or so for the practice run to be set up, which means that party members start getting incredibly bored. You lose people, or people go off and do their own thing, and then before you know it, they have an Idris. It's, you can't force people to do something boring like waiting. If it were me, I would have a different start time for the security, because that should be the easy bit. The racers are the ones that take the longest to sort out, because they have to get everything packed up, they have to be in the exact right place at the right time. Security just needs to get in the combat ship and go.
Okay, so a different start time for security versus the racers. That way security's already on site whenever the racers get there.
Well, not necessarily, because it's the setup that the racers need, so they need to be all prepped. Thing is, this isn't like a big recommendation, but as a whole, it takes too long to get set up. I'm not saying that a different start time is the solution. What I'm saying is the wait time is a huge problem. We can be set up, as a security group, we can be set up in 20 minutes. That's our guarantee. And 3 hours later, we're still sat here waiting for it to start.
Okay, so wait time, communications. As we know, CIG has a vested interest in this.
Yes.
If you could reach out to them, because they also control things like the UE Navy, what would you suggest to them?
I think CIG did a really good job, actually, because, see, this is controversial, but they started pre-banning Griefernet before the race started.
Really?
That's what they did. They took out the known targets, they banned them, and this is part of the reason why they didn't have any capitals, by the way, is because all the mains got banned, so they had to quickly go into the alts. This is the problem with the wait time as well, is they had to scramble to get everybody outfitted with the right ships and the right components, and they could have missed the whole thing. But you know what? It took such a long time for the race to even start that Grief and Net were up and running, probably even had time to farm out new components, and was still ready for race start.
Okay.
So CIG, they did everything right, in my opinion. Some people will say that it's a sandbox and they shouldn't be interfering like that because, you know, things like that should be able to happen and they shouldn't interfere. But, you know, you're right, they have a vested interest in the Daymar Rally. It's kind of a special thing. I think they went as far as they could.
Okay.
And they didn't need to do anything more than that.
Okay. If, again, this is completely hypothetical, if you were doing this and you were picking security teams for this as a security or yourself, who would you reach out to?
I wouldn't reach out to anyone. I know
Really?
that's weird. I wouldn't reach out to anyone because you want people who want to be there. If I reached out to Atlas, for instance, if I reached out to them, they don't have a vested interest in this, clearly. So I would just get a negative answer. You only really want people who want to be there, and we really wanted to be there. Like, for us, this felt like a big next step of officializing us. Like, this is why, this is another thing as well, when they claimed that we were asking for help off Griefernet and we're friends with them. It's like, we've been running the security org for like the past 5 years. The reasons we were there, everything indicated that actually, no, we've got no vested interest with them. But none of that got thought about. No, I would take on anybody who has shown that they are able to do PvP and have asked to be there.
Okay. Of course, with some vetting.
With some vetting.
Okay. And if you have any other logs or anything that you want to send our way, we will publish them as well with this story. If you could edit anything sensitive out before you send them, we would appreciate it. Save us some time. But we appreciate you coming on and showing us that video, because you're right. It does show mistakes on y'all's part. It shows mistakes on the organizers' part. It shows mistakes on their security team's part. But it also shows the fact that Griefernet brought in 6 Idrises, and the only thing that stands up to an Idris is another Idris. And they brought 6 of them. Exactly.
Like, I don't blame Atmo all that much for this, by the way. They tasked Quantum Jump Medical to do the security, and QJM, they trusted in them. So things like no Idrises because we don't want the racers to lose frames seems a bit silly to me, because, you know, it was likely that the Idrises were going to be there anyway. But for the most part, it's just they're taking Quantum Jump Medical's recommendations at face value because that's who they trust. So to that degree, don't blame Atmo, but I do 100% blame Quantum Jump Medical for this. And I worry that Atmo takes this disaster on server 1 where everybody got bombed, and I could be wrong, but I don't believe a single racer marked that they finished on server 1. There wasn't one completion. But it feels like they got complacent with it, where they've just accepted that this is going to happen, and it needn't.
Okay. Well, like I said, we appreciate you coming up and talking with us. And if you'd like, we will do a sit-down interview with your org and get y'all a chance to, it's been a while. It's been a couple years actually since we interviewed y'all last, and y'all done
Yeah.
a lot of things since then. So we'll be happy to sit down and do another one, and y'all can tell us about y'all's exploits, and we can work through that. But thank you for sitting down with us and talking through this. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been part 2 of the Daymar Rally investigation. And once again, this is your Fast Forecast coming to you live. So from all of us here at Fast Forecast, fair winds and following seas.